Good morning students, welcome back to computer science class. Today here I am going to explain you about input and output. It's nothing but formatted input and output topic, and this is a first topic in a second unit. Okay, so first unit all topics we completed, and in second unit today I am going to start a second unit. Okay, in the second unit first topic is formatted and unformatted input and output. Okay, first we'll discuss about what is the input, what is the output. Then we'll discuss about formatted and unformatted. Okay, so first we'll discuss about input. So what is the input? Input is nothing but whatever information, whatever value you are giving to a system. Okay, that is called as an input. Like if you are giving like this, int a equals to 10. Here you are storing this 10 in a. So it is a value. So you are storing something inside the system. So whatever the user is storing, whatever the user is giving to a system, to a program, is called as an input. Okay, and that input can be given in a different ways. Example, that input can be different types of input. Here I am giving a value, numeric value I am giving. It may be a numeric or it may be a character, it may be a whatever it may be. Value you are giving. Okay. Example, sometimes maybe you know this, upload. So means when you click on the upload, it will ask you to give the location of the file. In that cases, what is the input? In that case, file is the input. What you are giving? File you are giving. So file is called as input. So sometimes a value can be an input. Sometimes a file can be an input. Understood? So, and input also directly you can give in the program and you can give from a command prompt. Okay, directly command prompt means the black screen, whatever screen you are getting to see the output, that is nothing but the command prompt. That means that type of screen. Okay, so the user can supply input like a value he can supply, or he can give a file, and whatever value is giving he can give in the program like this. In a C program he can give, and from the output screen dynamic output also the user can give. Okay, and whatever the data, whatever input the user is giving, that is processed according to instructions. How it is processed means, example, int a equals to 10, b equals to 20, c equals to a plus b. Here these two are called as the input the user is giving, and according to instruction, what is the instruction here? A plus b, that 2 should be added, that is the instructions. So whatever input the user is giving, that input is processed according to the instructions, and that is produced on the console using the output statement. Printf is the output statement in C programming. Okay, here if you are printing a C. So this is output. This is printed on the output screen. This is the input. Okay, the user, whatever the user is giving, that is the input. Whatever the system is producing, that is an output. Okay, so every program, in every program there may be some inputs, some outputs. Okay, so input is nothing but what the user is given. It may be a value or it may be a file. Okay, when you will get a file concept, then I will explain how to give a file as an input. Okay, and based on the instructions in the program, whatever input the user has given, that is processed into a required output, and that output is printed on the screen by using a printf statement. Okay, output statement. So in every program you will get some inputs and some outputs. But how to give that inputs and output in C programming, and after giving how that input is processed, how that output is processed, how that output is printed, that we'll discuss today. Okay. So here one very important point is, here we have a different input and output statements, but if you want to use that, you need a standard input and output, standard input and output header file. Okay, here stdio stands for standard input and output header file. What is the use of this header file is, example, we have a printf function. What is the use of this printf function? It is used to print output on the console, on the output screen. So how to print, what is the use of this function, and what is the body of this function, what instructions are there in its function, all those instructions, what is the body of that function, all the instructions are stored in this stio.header file. Okay, so if you want to include this in your program as a first line, you cannot use this printf function. Okay, so in order to execute this function, whatever instructions are needed, all those instructions are stored in a standard input and output header file only. So in order to use the printf function, it is compulsory that you should include this header file inside your program. Example, you want to write exam in the college. Example, from this college you want to write exam. So example, this is your exam. So if you want to write an exam, you need an admission. Without admission, you cannot write the exam. While taking admission only, there clear instruction, what is your group, what is your name, what is your father name, what is your phone number, everything stored in a admission branch only. So this is called as admission branch, and this is called as exam. So if you want to write this exam, you need a admission. Without admission, you cannot write exam. Similarly, without header files, actually header files stores the instructions for the function, means how to execute, how to write, all those instructions are in a header files only. So if you want to use that particular function, it is a condition that you should include the header files. Without header files, you cannot use these functions. Okay, so that is why if you want to use any input and output function in C programming, this header file should be included in your program, and that should be your first line. It's a condition. If you want to use a printf function, you need a standard input and output header file. So that is why in each and every program I am adding this. Okay, now next here, whatever input and output functions are there in C programming. Okay, input and output functions, whatever input and output functions are there, that are classified into two categories. One is formatted input and output, and the second one is unformatted input and output. Okay, you write this. You can expect this question in short. Input and output functions can be classified into two categories. One is formatted input and output, and unformatted input and output. Okay, now we'll discuss about each and every category now. Formatted input and output. Here, this is nothing but the input and this is nothing but the output. Now, formatted input and output. Okay, this is means this is also one method while receiving a data and some printing output on the screen. In this method, formatted input and output. Whatever input you are taking from a user, means the program is taking from a user, and whatever output the program is printing on the console, that should be in a particular format. Okay, we can say that while receiving an input from a user and while printing output on the monitor, on the screen, if you are using a format specifier, then that is called as a formatted input and output. And this type of input and output, this type of input is stored in a ASCII format. Okay, so that later we'll discuss what is an ASCII format. Okay, only one point is that if you are taking any input from a user using a formatted input and output, there should be a format specifier like %d, %f, like that. So if you are storing data using that format specifier, that is called as a formatted input. Means there you are using a particular format to store the data, and while printing also there is a particular format for each and every data type. So that type of input will come under formatted input and output. If you are receiving any data from a user in a particular format, that is called as a formatted input, and if you are printing anything on the particular format on the screen, that is called as a formatted output. So here using a formatted input and output, here we have two functions which are based on this formatted input and output. First one is scanf The second one is a printf. It's very, very important. You can expect one function from this. Scanf, it is a function, so you get parenthesis, printf. Okay, now we'll discuss about each and every function now. You take this. Scanf, 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 and this is called as a printf. Now we'll discuss about scanf. So the first one is scanf. It is a first one. It is called as an input function in C programming. Input function means this function is used to collect input from a user. Okay. So what is the user scanf function? This function is used to take input from a user, and the user can give input from standard keyboard. Okay. From the keyboard, if you want to supply value to the program, then we'll use a scanf function. And in Vivo also maximum they will ask what is the input function in C programming. Scanf is called as an input function because scanf function is used to collect input from a user. Using the scanf only we can take input from a user, and the user can give a value from a standard keyboard, and that value will be stored in the memory. Okay, and the syntax here is syntax. It's very, very, very important. Scanf, format specifiers, double quotes, comma, variable. If it is the list of formats, list of values you are collecting from a user, here you get format specifiers, list of variables, format specifiers, list of variables, and it is a statement. It should end with a semicolon. It's very, very, very important. Scanf, here no space. Format specifiers, list of variables. Okay, it is a scanf function. It is used to collect input from a user. Now, here, what is a format specifier? The first one is format specifier. What is a format specifier is? So, before storing a value in the system, you should inform the compiler what type of value you are collecting from a user. Means from a user you are collecting a integer, float, character, string, what type of value you are collecting from a user. Using a format specifier, we can inform the compiler about particular data type, okay, in which you are collecting data from a user. Okay, understand? So what is a format specifier? Means it will inform the compiler. What it will inform? What type of data the user is giving. Whether the user is giving an integer, float, char and string. Okay, if you are taking a value from a user, you should have a format specifier. And here if you have a format specifier, here you should give a name of the variable. Okay, because variables are used to store the value. What type of value you are collecting from a user, that information will give you in a format specifier. What is where that value is stored? That is nothing but the variable. Okay, format specifier is nothing but what type of value you are collecting from a user. That is a format specifier. And where is that value? That is nothing but the variable. Okay, example, integer value you are collecting. Integer value if you are collecting, then how will you give? Scanf %d. This is for an integer, and always format specifier should be in a double quotes. Double quotes, this pair, comma, name of the variable, example A. If you are collecting a float value, again scanf %d, sorry, it is a float now, f, comma, example A. Here it is for integer. When compiler finds this symbol, what it will imagine? Okay, the user is giving a input value. Okay, the next one is scanf %c for character. Next, scanf %s for string. Yes, and scanf %ld for long integer. And next %lf for for a double. Okay, you take screenshot of this. Because when you are taking a different types of input, what type of input you are taking from a user, that you should inform the compiler. Okay, so that is why you should know if it is a character, what you have to write. If it is a float, what you have to write. If it is an integer, what you have to write. Okay, so now we'll write one example program using a scanf function. First, I'll give you the output. Okay, enter a output screen. This is enter a value. The user will give 10. The user is giving after the compilation. Okay, not in the compilation. So not before the compilation. Sorry. If it is if you have supplied value in the program, directly after compiling you will get an output. But if you don't want to fix the value of the variable, you want to give a different values. At runtime, if you want to give a values from the keyboard, you want to give at the time of execution, then we'll go for the scanf. Okay, enter a value. Next, enter b value. Then I will give a 20. The system will give a 30. Here these two are giving using a keyboard after compiling your program. Then include stdio.h standard input and output header file, void main int a comma b comma c. Here in the declaration part I am not assigning a value. If you will assign a values at the time of declaration, the values of that variable is fixed. I don't want to fix the value every time I want to give a new value. Then now when you give this statement in the memory, you will get 3 blocks A, B, C. Okay, now in the syntax correct. Next, what is the prompt here? Printf enter a value. So you will get this prompt. This will be executed. After this, you will get a prompt where cursor will blink. Then you need to give the value. Like cursor will blink like this after printing this. Then we'll give the value. Then what happened? Scanf. What type of value you want to give? Integer. So %d. Here I forgot to tell you one point, that is the address operator. This one. So this is called as ampersand. What is the use of this is, this operator gives the location of the variable. Actually in the syntax I forgot to tell you this. Okay, you add this also in the syntax. %d, comma, ampersand. What is the name of the variable? A. Whatever value the user is giving after this statement, that value will be stored in A. And this ampersand will give the location of the A. Okay. So it's very important. You need to add ampersand in the syntax also you add. Next after that, printf. What is the next statement? Enter. Here 10 will be stored. Enter b value. Next, whatever value the user give, that's stored. That is in a integer. Or if you want to store like this, you can give float integer. Okay, integer only I will give. %d. Ampersand means after this statement, whatever value the user is giving, that should be stored in B. Now C equals to A plus B. Printf. Again you should give the format specifier. Format specifier is %d C. This is your program. Okay, this is a %d. Printf enter a value means we are giving a message to the user, command to the user to enter a value. Before taking a value from a user, you should you should give the message to the user to enter a value. So we'll give a message by using this. Next, the user will give the value. So when the user gives the value, where that value should be stored? In A. Okay. So in order to give the address of A, here we are using a ampersand. And what type of value the user is storing? Integer. Next, after that we are giving a prompt for a B. After that, scanf, %d, and whatever after this prompt, whatever value the user is giving, that should be stored in a B. And what type of value again? Integer. After that, C equals to A plus B. printf percentile d. See, because if it is a formatted input output, for printf also you need to give the format specifier. Okay, take screenshot of this. Next I will explain printf function. Now we will discuss about printf function. Printf function in a printf. Previously we discussed about this. Again we will discuss printf function. Printf function, it is first one is it is the output function. Output function. What is the use of this output function? This output function is used to print text, variable values, strings, whatever the program is producing on the output screen. Okay, what is the use of the output function? Output function is used to print the result of the program on the output screen. Whatever result you are getting from a program, that can be a character, that can be an integer, that can be a float, or that can be anything. But this function is used to print on the output screen. Whatever result is there, that is on the output screen. The syntax is printf text message if it is only the value, and if it is only message, to print message. If you are printing a value, printf format specifier, comma, variables list. If you are printing a value, if you are printing only the message, printf function and message, and always if it is a message, it is a string, should be in double quotes. If it is a value, then we won't enclose between a double quotes. But if it is a string, then we'll enclose between a double quotes. Okay, so if you are printing only the simple message, this is enough. But if you are printing a value, again you should inform the compiler what type of value you are printing on the output screen. That is by using a format specifier and the name of the variable, from which variable you want to print the value. Okay, now I'll give you the example. If you are printing only the hello world, and you are printing example 10. So printf hello world, okay, it is a message, so I am enclosing in a double quotes. If you are printing a value, printf, what is the output format specifier here? If it is this is an integer, 10 is an integer, so percentile d, where that a is stored, where that 10 is stored in a, like this. So if you are printing a only simple message, printf function and message is enough. But if you are printing any value, then we need a format specifier and the name of the variable, from which variable you want to print the value. So it is similar in a scanf function and in printf function. But in scanf function, just we will add the ampersand, because if you want to store something inside the memory, you need to give that memory address. So using ampersand will give the memory address. Okay. This is about only the formatted input and output. Now using these two functions, you write one example, whatever program I have given previously, the same program you can write. Okay. So if you want to take a value from a user, then we'll use a scanf function. If you want to print anything on the output screen, then we'll use a printf function. Scanf function is called as the input function and printf function is called as output function. Out of these two functions, you can expect one function in the exam. Okay. With this, formatted input and output over. The next one is unformatted input and output is there. That we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.